In this video, how to obtain residency in Nicaragua, focusing on the investor visa and the rentista visa. Whether you're eyeing retirement here, planning an investment, or simply drawn by the allure of a simpler lifestyle or a Plan B residency, Nicaragua presents unique opportunities to make this vibrant country your home. Let's delve deep into the process. So, I guess first things first, why Nicaragua? Nicaragua is not just another dot on the map. It's a land of contrast with its active volcanoes, lush rainforests, and miles of untouched beaches along both the Pacific and Caribbean coasts. The country boasts one of the lowest costs of living in the Americas. It's very cheap. It's a very welcoming community and a climate that's often described as eternally spring-like. There's different climate zones in Nicaragua, so you can sort of take your pick. Do you want to be in the beach? Do you want to be in the mountains? There's something for everybody. Additionally, the tax benefits are significant. Nicaragua operates under a territorial tax system where income generated outside the country isn't taxed, providing a substantial draw, substantially attractive for those looking to optimize their financial planning. So when you combine a very low cost of living where you can live like a king for less than $1,000 a month and you pay zero taxes, you're absolutely killing it. Let's just say you're making $100K a year and you're spending $12K, $15K a year. You're saving more than 80% of your income. That's how powerful it is to have low taxes as well as a low cost of living. So let's talk about the investor visa. The investor visa is a direct route to permanent residency for those willing to invest in Nicaragua's economy. This visa requires a minimum investment of $30,000. But it's not just about throwing money into the country. The investment needs to be strategic, okay? So not everything counts. One thing that does count but needs to be discussed is real estate investment. Purchasing property for commercial purposes, like rental units or turning it into a tourism venture or a hotel, that counts. However, simply buying a home for personal use doesn't qualify unless it's part of a broader economic activity. And then also for the investor visa, you have business investment. So starting or significantly investing in a business such as a new hotel, agricultural project, or even a franchise can also qualify you. This could mean setting up a sociedad anónima, which is a type of corporation, which must be registered with the Nicaraguan commercial registry. For the application, you'll need a couple things here. You'll need the investment registration certificate from the MyFIC, which verifies your investment. This involves presenting your project to the MyFIC for approval, showing how it will benefit the local economy. You'll need certified copies of the corporate documents. If your investment is via a business, you'll need to provide your company's articles of incorporation. And you'll need proof of investment. This could be property deeds, business purchase agreements, or invoices for significant equipment purchases. The benefits of the investor visa are compelling. You get permanent residency for 5 years. There's no mandatory physical presence requirement for renewal, but you need to be in the country for the actual ID card renewal every 6 months. That is, and we'll come back to that because that is potentially a deal breaker for some people needing to visit for 1 day every 6 months. Now let's talk about the rentista visa. For those who have a steady passive income but aren't interested in direct business investment, the rentista visa offers an alternative path. You need to prove a monthly income of at least $750 from sources like pensions, investments, or rental income outside Nicaragua. $750, by the way, is probably the lowest dollar amount for any Rentista visa in the Americas. A lot of countries, it's $1,000, it's $1,250, it's $1,500, it's $2,000, right? So $750 of passive income, of pension income, that's a pretty low barrier. You'll need to show documentation, bank statements, investment returns, or annuity agreements. And you also need to show health and legal clearance. A health certificate and a police clearance from your home country are also required. This visa initially grants you temporary residency for 1 year, which you can renew annually. However, after 3 years of continuous residency under this status, you become eligible to apply for permanent residency, which then offers you a 5-year renewable residency without needing to prove income continuously. Okay. So let's talk about the application process. The process obviously starts by gathering all your documents, and at MyLatinLife, we can help you collect your documents. This is not something that you want to do by yourself. There's lots of small mistakes that can be made. We know what the Nicaraguan government is looking for. We know what gets people commonly denied. So working with a lawyer, a fixer, someone like MyLatinLife will significantly increase your percentage chance of being accepted. And you don't want to go through this whole process only to get denied or get told to come back because your documents are wrong. So what documents are we going to need? I guess just a sneak peek. You're going to need apostilles for any documents coming from outside Nicaragua, right? And you're going to need to translate them into Spanish to ensure there's no misunderstandings in the visa application. Okay, you might need birth certificates. We talked about bank statements. It depends, obviously, the specific documents. If you do Rentista or investor visa, there's some commonalities between both, and there are some things that are different. Once your paperwork is in order, you must submit your application to the Nicaraguan Immigration Office, often in Managua. There may also be branches in the other major cities, but Managua is preferred. The fees for the process vary. There's government fees, there's legal fees, there's translation fees. So that's something to consider as well. So let's talk about the timeline for approval. The application process can vary quite a bit. So for the investor visa, typically once all documents are in place, you might wait anywhere from 3 to 6 months for approval. For the Rentista visa, expect a similar timeline, but this can depend on how quickly you can provide all necessary financial proofs. After approval, you'll receive your residency card. However, if your application is incomplete or if documents need resubmission, it can go back to the bottom of the pile, potentially adding months to the process. Now let's talk about the path to permanent residency and citizenship. People really ask about this a lot. So permanent residency, both visas can lead to permanent residency. For the investor visa, it's immediate upon approval. Whereas for the Rentista, it's after 3 years of temp status. And then for citizenship, after 5 years of holding permanent residency, you can apply for Nicaraguan citizenship. This involves proving your Spanish language skills, understanding of Nicaraguan culture, and passing a naturalization test. Dual citizenship is recognized in Nicaragua, adding another layer of benefits for those looking to expand their global footprint. Now let's go over some final considerations. 1, language and culture. Learning Spanish will not only help with the residency process, but will also enrich your experience in Nicaragua, and it's kind of necessary for the citizenship process as well down the line. 2, legal assistance. So Nicaragua, this is not the type of thing that you want to do by yourself. There are some countries where you could potentially do immigration processes by yourself. Nicaragua is not one of them. Navigating immigration law can be complex, so we highly recommend working with a lawyer who can streamline the process and avoid common pitfalls. 3, the political climate. Keep an eye on the political landscape as changes can affect residency policies or the ease of living in the country. Honestly, it's more stable than you think. Nicaragua maybe gets a bad rap for having a dictator and this and that, but on the ground is very safe. It's safer than Costa Rica. It's very stable. And they're not, doing all these land expropriations and everything that maybe historically happened in the past a little bit, but it really shouldn't be too prominent of a fear. But of course, since they do kind of have a dictator, unaligned from the West type of situation in Nicaragua right now, it's important to keep your ear to the ground, be aware of any changes that might be occurring in the country, because who knows, in the next 5-10 years, there could be a shift, and then maybe they go towards being more Western aligned, or who knows. So it should be interesting to see what happens. And then 4, long-term planning. So whether it's for retirement or business, think about how Nicaragua fits into your long-term life plans, including the potential for citizenship, the potential to lower your taxes, if you want this to be a plan A or a plan B. These are all important considerations. Nicaragua could indeed be your next home with its investor and rentista residency options. Each path offers its own set of advantages, tailored to different lifestyles and financial strategies. If you found this guide helpful, please subscribe for more on international living, Latin America, citizenship processes, residency process, etc. And leave your questions and experiences in the comments below. Until the next video.